I am Georgia Bromhead. I am a certified forest therapy guide through the Association of Nature and Forest Therapy. I got certified last year and brought the practice back to Nashville. It's pretty new here, so my hope is to bring this idea of forest bathing, forest therapy to our area. The way that I found out about the Association of Nature and Forest Therapy and the whole idea of forest bathing was I went through a really difficult time in my life, and in this crisis time, everything felt like it was falling apart, and the only thing that helped me through was walks. I would take walks all day, every day, just walking. And the trees were steady, unmoving, and always present for me. So I took that, and later I ended up teaching English in Japan, and the school that I taught at incorporated nature into every day and every moment. The kids were barefoot in the summer. In the winter, we would go outside and sled. They brought animals in to look at, and the windows were always open. I thought, wow, what an amazing connection to nature that we have lost in the US. Is there anything like this for adults? And I just sort of knew that that was my next step, is to do the training, become a certified guide. So the practice of forest therapy, it's communicating with nature in its own language. The language of nature being the senses. So we learn as guides how to activate the senses and approach a small area of land through each one: sight, taste, smell. But we don't just have those 5 senses. There are many more. I think there are 19, including things like proprioception, which is your awareness of your body in space, even if you can't see it. Imaginal sense, so just kind of using your imagination, that's also a sense. So forest therapy guides use these senses and help the walkers to connect with nature and listen. The concept and practice of learning how to connect with nature through our senses. And when we can do that, we not only reconnect with nature as a living being, we are also living beings in this ecosystem. We connect with that idea that we can be separated from a lot in our current society. We also maybe can listen to some things that are being said in the natural environment that we don't hear a lot of the time. Being with yourself in this environment with other beings can open up a line of communication that we have gotten away from. It's really important to me that each person have their own experience in their own way, and it's not my job to give you a meditation experience or to show you how to do mindfulness. It is so sensual and physical and the rest sort of is up to you and evolves in your own way, and you are just with yourself. Instead of meditation, which can sometimes feel like a battle with your mind, I gotta empty my mind and now I have to direct my mind. Forest therapy is the opposite. It is about our bodies. What does this leaf feel like in my hand? It's all about getting into your body and into this present moment. And through that, things can arise or not. You just have that experience that is very rare. Everyone that comes on a walk with me in Nashville just loves it, and they say, I can't believe, this has been happening. This is such a cool new practice. I'm gonna bring my friend or my sister. Word is definitely spreading. I think it's such an open and welcoming practice that it feels good for anyone. I think through self-awareness that comes with just being with ourselves in this space, the realization that we are a being among other beings. That self-awareness, it bleeds over into our human relationships, and it changes our dynamics with people and our dynamics with ourselves. One by one, as people begin to reconnect with nature and not see, just a blanket forestscape, but see the thousands and thousands of beings that are here, even in just a square foot of space, they begin to realize how alive our environment is, and be a little bit more careful and more conscious of what we do in our environment and how we treat it. I think what I hear the most after walks is, I can't believe blank. I can't believe how many textures there are in this place. I had no idea there were so many insects in this little place. Just surprise at the slowing down and really focusing in on a space that we don't often do brings a surprise. One of the ideas of forest bathing or forest therapy is to turn down the volume of the mind and turn up the volume of the body. Forest therapy walks aren't hikes, they aren't achievements, and they aren't nature identification walks. So some people might think, ooh, I know every tree in this forest, this is gonna be so cool. And that is awesome, but it's a different space. Forest therapy space is actually turning down the volume of your thoughts. Instead of a meditation where that might be what your focus is, it's easy in forest therapy. You just start to connect to your environment with your senses. And that helps you turn down your thoughts and just get into your body. How often have you smelled a leaf? When's the last time? When's the last time you crunched a leaf between your palms? When's the last time you felt what the back of your wrist feels like? It's engaging the senses, and in that way, the experience is sensual. When we engage in forest therapy through our senses, through our body, through our imaginal sense, it is very childlike. And you get into a headspace that I haven't been in since I was a kid, and you just explore and you go to the next rock and you go to the next sunspot. And that present moment, the here and now experience, children are masterful at. And they are supreme forest bathers. They are expert forest therapists. They don't really need it. A lot of parents ask if they can bring their kid on the walk, and I don't do that. We kind of, as guides, separate the two. Kids are already in this headspace that adults need so much time and encouragement to get back into. The timelessness, the here and now, and the using your body and exploring. What do you feel like in this place? What does it feel like when I sit in this nook of a tree? Go see. So when someone says, I hope to teach my children this practice, I love that. However, try watching your children and let them teach you. My 9-month-old daughter is just the best forest bather. I take her into the yard and she just moves her feet on the grass, and that's what we're doing right now. No agenda. So, kids are actually the teachers. I think if people are interested in this practice, they just know it, and they just follow their curiosity. Maybe it's now, maybe it's next year, and they'll see a little post about a walk and they'll come. I don't have to really convince anyone, and I'm not here to convince anyone. I think people feel a longing for belonging, and they feel disconnected, and they're curious to connect with the forest in a different way than they're used to, than a hike or walking and talking with a friend. It's a completely different experience, and it's all for them. And there aren't a lot of opportunities nowadays to give a lot of self-love and spend time with yourself, and it can be uncomfortable. but I think people are yearning for it. I feel so lucky to be able to provide that container for people. Here's the space. This is for you, whatever that means. You don't come out of a forest therapy walk with a concrete report for your friend. You don't come out saying, I saw an amazing maple tree. The experience that you emerge with is uniquely yours, and it's hard to put in words, and that's okay. Have it. Be quiet about it. My hope is that through these guided experiences, people can learn some different ideas of connecting with the earth that they may not have thought of, or they just needed to be reminded. And they'll take that out into the world with them. I find myself in a parking lot with the parking lot trees. You know, nobody pays attention to those, and they look like little fake trees, but they have bark too, they have leaves, they're blowing in the wind, they interact with the wind, they interact with people, they interact with the light, they grow. And so even walking from your car to the store, you can have a tiny sensual experience with nature and connect in that way, and remember that you're human, and remember that you are nature every day. To start with a guided experience is a gateway. It's ideas. It's helping take you safely out of your logical thinking, chattering mind through a space of timelessness, a space just for you, and a space of the senses, and then back so that you can experience what that headspace is like, and then take it forward.